Welcome to the Pac-12 on ESPN. Tempe, Arizona has been buzzing all week, and the students have been at Wells Fargo Arena all day in anticipation of tonight's rivalry game between Arizona State and Arizona. Look at that line. They've been lined up since 1 o'clock. It was 72 degrees today.
Nothing like a good buzz. Let's get going.
The Wildcats have won 6 straight meetings in the series, the longest streak in 12 years. The last Arizona State win came prior to Bobby Hurley taking over as the head coach. Everybody chasing Washington right now in the Pac-12. The Huskies play UCLA on Saturday. They beat SC last night. There's a 4-way tie for third place, and Arizona State and Arizona are in that mix. With Hall of Famer Bill Walton, I'm Dave Pasch. We'll get to Molly McGrath in a minute. For Arizona State, a guy that's really come on the scene, Bill. He's leading the Pac-12 in rebounding, Zylan Cheatham.
Dave, what a scene, what a game, what a moment here. The dream has come true for Bobby Hurley. And in conjunction with all the guys that are putting this great squad together, this is the guy, Zylan Cheatham, a local guy from South Phoenix. Didn't like where he was in the early part of his career over in San Diego. I can't figure that out, but this guy can really play ball. What a game he's got. He had 20 rebounds his last time out. He dominates the boards in the Conference of Champions.
Meanwhile, some injury news for Arizona. Let's check in with Molly.
That's right, Dave. Good news, bad news for Arizona. Chase Jeter coming off the bench after missing the last 2 games with back spasms. He told me he's about 80% healthy, but he's still dealing with some pain. He has trouble fully extending for rebounds. Also, Brandon Williams will not play because of a right knee sprain sustained at UCLA. I'm told he's dealing with significant pain and swelling. He will undergo further tests. His status is day to day.
And that's bad news, obviously, as you said, Molly. He's the leading scorer for Arizona in Pac-12 games.
So the challenge is going to be for the Wildcats to find some offense and find some defense. Other than that, everything is fine.
Here's Cheatham on the drive, and he got fouled. Reach in by Justin Coleman.
When you're shorthanded, like the Wildcats are, you can't foul. Your margin of error is 0. Fortunately, they got a brilliant coach. And this proud, loyal, and grateful team, this Conference of Champions flagship program, the Arizona Wildcats, on hard times right now, lost both games by convincing margins last week in Los Angeles. Can they regroup here?
Lou Dort, the leading scorer for Arizona State, as Cheatham lost it underneath, but now able to clean it up.
What do you do when the other team is bigger, stronger, more talented, and deeper?
Coleman in the lane puts up an air ball. Lee is there, though, and sticks it back in.
That was a pass that Ira Lee did not anticipate. He thought shot, and he was looking at it all the time. A lot of whistles early on here, please.
Offensive foul, Dylan Smith drawing the charge on Dort.
And every time the whistle blows, it's an advantage to Arizona State. They have more players. Sean Miller has literally 7 guys right now.
Right, but I think
who knows how much Chase Jeter is going to be able to play.
I think he's okay with that whistle, considering it was an offensive foul on the other team.
Yeah, but look, we've had this discussion before about the mascara. Ryan Luther's got to let that fly.
Smith never shy, and he buries a 3.
When I think back in history of the great teams that always gave up a physical advantage to their opponents. The collegiate level, UCLA 64-65, 2-time champions. Tallest guy on the team was 6'5". The NBA level, Boston Celtics, early 1970s. They had Cowens, Havlicek, Nelson, Silas, JoJo White, Charlie Scott. 2-time world champions, should have been 3. Look at Romello White, too big,
off the Dort
too
miss.
Strong. Okay, offense has got to come here from little Justin Coleman, 5th-year transfer from Alabama, Samford. Didn't do much over in Los Angeles. That shot has got to be released. Hopefully some of them will go down.
Not close for Luther that time. Now Arizona State in transition. Edwards fakes the pass and puts up an air ball, but Cheatham with the save.
Everywhere.
Dort lost the ball.
What is Ira Lee doing falling down? He's just too good. Great defense.
Taken away by Edwards.
Ira Lee is one of the toughest guys in the Conference of Champions. Son of an NFL star. Sun Devils need better spacing here. They're just kind of flooding the same side of the floor. Whoa.
Shot clock down to 1. Good defense. Edwards had to hoist it. Out of bounds. Good job by Dylan Smith that time not to leave his feet and just get in the airspace of the shooter.
Great crowd here tonight at Wells Fargo Arena, the bank. Dave Cohen, Ray Anderson, the athletic directors responsible for this fantastic program here at the New American University. I'm told Michael Crow will be here tonight. He's got a busy schedule. We do know that Bobby Robbins, president of the University of Arizona, is here. They've got a great presence in the city of Phoenix.
Lee facing up now, spins and goes to his left hand. He's making the most of his opportunity the last couple of games.
This is a guy who had to play last year every game every day in practice against DeAndre Ayton. His ability to deliver in the low post. He has unlimited physical talent.
Martin with a pull-up jumper.
Now, I'm told, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm told that Remy Martin threw one down the other night at UCLA. I've got my research staff on it.
You know, they have this thing, it's called a highlight. You can get it on your phone.
Whoa.
Oh, not only did Ira Lee miss the dunk, but he injured himself falling on his back. Edwards on the other end drains a triple.
This crowd, just electric. I was here for the Oregon game, but I've never seen this current Sun Devil squad play better in the Bobby Hurley era, now in its 4th year.
Dort drives way off the mark.
Look at the way Romello White goes after it. I had the privilege of seeing Jerry Stackhouse in Memphis last week. Jerry Stackhouse instrumental in Romello White's growth and development as a young man.
Tough shot goes down for Brandon Randolph, who has not played well offensively in the first half the last 4 games, so maybe that'll get him going.
These guys for Arizona, they have to find a way. Michael Jordan's greatest efforts and his greatest commitment. That's a traveling violation.
Yep.
Please.
And they call it.
Yeah. Whatever it is, what about Michael Jordan? He always figured out a way to get the job done with who he had against his opponent.
Dave Pasch, Hall of Famer Bill Walton with Molly McGrath in Tempe, Arizona State and Arizona.
What a game it's been, too. Fantastic start with an electric, eclectic crowd here at Wells Fargo Arena. 7,000 students downloaded their app to get into this arena tonight.
Arizona State and Arizona squaring off here in Tempe in front of a sold-out crowd in Wells Fargo Arena. Everybody chasing Washington in the Pac-12. The Huskies at 8-0. Arizona State and Arizona tied with SC and UCLA for 3rd.
Utah's playing great basketball. Larry Kraskowiak, brilliant coach and leader. UCLA on fire as well.
Sean Miller has never lost to Bobby Hurley as the head coach at Arizona, 6-0 since Hurley took over the Arizona State program.
These two great friends, nothing but mutual respect.
Both sons of coaches, both with brothers who are big-time head coaches.
Fierce competitors, intense, enthusiastic, and brilliant leaders for the Conference of Champions. Chase Jeter, first time in the ball game. Whoa.
And Bobby Hurley wanted to travel, didn't get the call. Now Martin ahead of the pack.
Oh,
hey, proved it to you.
I have seen it in person. There were rumors that it happened last week at Pauley Pavilion. I was not there, but I was here tonight. Mark this date down in not only Pac-12 history, but world history.
The fact you just mentioned it a minute ago, saying you didn't believe it because you hadn't seen the highlight, and he said, all right, Walton, I got this for you.
Remy Martin, one of my favorites, the reigning Pac-12 Sixth Man of the Year. Beautiful footwork by Chase Jeter. I was wrong initially, but in transition, Z Cheatham right up the court. Throw it down, little man. Throw it down one time. It's a good thing they changed the backboard equipment, or else he would have tore the glass right down with it.
Rob Edwards, you're on fire tonight. Rob
I'm ready
Edwards
to
with
go,
the
man. I was with the students all afternoon in that line out there.
They were outside for 4.5 hours.
This scene here at Wells Fargo Arena, this is the dream come true. Ryan Luther,
that's
beautiful.
Big. They need that. Arizona has lost 2 straight games by 20 or more points for the first time since 1983. And it's because their offense is shooting around 30% each of the last 2 games.
You don't believe in the team, do you?
What do you mean?
Take the best player off the team on both ends of the court, Chase Jeter, on offense and defense. You're not going to be able to win games, please.
Martin misses. The point is the team didn't shoot the ball well.
Yeah, well, the team revolves around this guy right here.
So again, you're telling me it's about team, yet you continue to talk about individuals as Jeter.
No, you don't understand that the strength of the team is the strength of the individual.
All right, enough from you. Let's check in with Molly McGrath for the latest on Chase Jeter.
Well, Dave, as you saw Chase Jeter coming off the bench tonight after missing the last 2 games with back spasms, he told me he's about 80% healthy, but he's still dealing with some pain and has trouble fully extending for rebounds. Also, Brandon Williams will not play because of a right knee sprain sustained at UCLA. I'm told he's dealing with pain and swelling. He's going to undergo further tests, and his status is day-to-day. Dave.
Yeah, obviously not having Williams is big. He was leading the team in scoring in Pac-12 play, but Jeter gives them some size, some rebounding, a guy that can score underneath as well.
They need a different style right now. They can't just play one-on-one and think that's going to get it done. Jeter is their one guy who can do that. You got to have back screens, down screens, cross screens instead of ball screens, please. Leave the ball screens for that guy, Jake.
Talking about Jay Billis, the ball screen.
Who?
Turnover by Arizona State. Randolph in transition, takes it in. He couldn't finish it, but there's Jeter.
You got to make a layup.
Knocked out of bounds. Let's see if they call it. They're going to say it was off of Randolph. It's Arizona State ball.
Bobby Hurley was right on top of that. I remember the first time these two great rivals played. All-time standing between U of A and ASU was 152-82 for the Wildcats, 2 hours away down the road. But the first game that Bobby played against, coached against Sean Miller, he's never beat him. He got ejected. He was thrown out of the game here. He walked off the court. He just called the crowd here at Wells Fargo down onto the court. It was incredible. I called him and congratulated him. And then I got a call from other people about what I just said.
Okay, you might want to elaborate on that a little bit. You look at Sean Miller's record against Arizona State. Not only is Sean 6-0 against Bobby Hurley, but if you combine the Hurleys, he's 8-0. He beat Dan Hurley when Dan was the head coach of Rhode Island and beat him earlier this year. Dan now the head coach of Connecticut.
Yeah, but did he ever beat Bobby Hurley Sr.?
I don't think so.
Okay. So Bobby Hurley Sr., I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. And you know what? Sean Miller's dad, John Miller, he's in the Hall of Fame of life. This has been an incredible story. Family dynasties. Kamani Lawrence, yes.
To the corner, Edwards has to put it up with 2, and the shot clock gets bailed out with a foul.
What's Dylan Smith thinking over there? You got the shot clock, you have the baseline as your advantage, but who can deliver peak performance on command? And when Remy Martin is coming at the lane, when he's coming at you, You better have legs. You better be able to get up and elevate. That this guy is coming to throw it down. Remy will have a double.
Tempe, Arizona has been buzzing all week.
Nothing like a good buzz. Here we go.
The students have been sitting around waiting all day at Wells Fargo Arena, lined up at about 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Like it goes on for a mile to get into the game.
That's the way my life looks.
Arizona's won 8 of the last 10 and 6 straight. Sean Miller 14-4 since he took over the Arizona job against the Sun Devils. Bobby Hurley yet to beat Sean Miller as the head coach of Arizona State. Sun Devils made the NCAA tournament last year. The last time the Sun Devils made consecutive NCAA tournaments, you got to go back to 1980-81. But the way Arizona State is headed right now with that win over Kansas, if they can get to 12 wins in the Pac-12, you think that they'd have an excellent shot at making the big dance.
Your concept of history is very limited. Jumpin' Joe Caldwell, number 32 in the Raptors, number 1 in your heart this year every night. Jumpin' Joe Caldwell, they were in the NCAAs all the time. Jumpin' Joe Caldwell, a 1964 Olympic gold medalist. He's here with his friend tonight, Dick Snyder, who played at Davidson for the recent Hall of Famer Leslie Drizel. Jumpin' Joe Caldwell from Fremont High School in Los Angeles gave John Wooden and the UCLA Bruins their last NCAA defeat before winning 38 consecutive NCAA games. NCAA record yet to be broken.
14-12 back here in 2019. Arizona State in front and Lou Dort back on the floor for the Devils.
Looking forward to having a great game from Alex Barcelo tonight, a local guy from Chandler.
Corona del Sol High School, 3-ball not close by Dutrieve.
Watch your face, please.
They really need more of Brandon Randolph. He has 2 points tonight, which matches his total in the first half of the last 4 games combined.
Look at the pounding of the offensive glass. Tayshaun Cherry, he's standing out of bounds when he touched that ball.
Oh, he also
he's still
fouled.
Down right now.
Yeah, remember he was being checked for a concussion after their last game was cleared.
He missed the last game at USC, the game they lost at the buzzer.
He just hit his head again, though.
He got elbowed in the UCLA game. The struggle for the offensive glass here. This is a guy who's just back. He hits his head. Here, why don't you come try that with your head on my elbow? Please.
Hey, let's get Kareem in here again, my bodyguard. Take you out again like he did last Saturday.
All in good fun. It didn't used to be that way.
Here's Barcelo, no good on the three. I noticed when I sent you, I texted you the pictures of Kareem's elbow in your throat from when you were the Clippers, and then the picture of last Saturday, and I said, some things never change, and you didn't respond.
Was that from you? What is your name and number, please? I tell you, Dylan Smith is just doing fantastic. He's got a three. He's got a runner. I love the way these guys do those runners. John Stockton, Norm Nixon, magnificent at that. They worked on that. These guys, what Bobby Hurley and Sean Miller have them working on in practice, that's a tough shot there.
Cherry can't get it, rebounded by Jeter.
I was ecstatic in practice today for Arizona that they actually took tons of shots. That's an offensive foul.
Yeah, Barcelo charging at Cherry, who again hits the deck. That's 2 personals on Barcelo.
Bobby Hurley's just fired up as can be.
Here's what we got, a quintuple header. That's 5 games,
okay.
Bill.
What's a quintuple?
On Saturday at noon. How about Chris Mullen and St. John's against Duke at noon Eastern time?
Fantastic. Let's go. They go back to the Dream Team in '92.
And then our Saturday primetime game, Indiana-Michigan State, and our Saturday showcase presented by 5-Hour Energy, top-ranked Tennessee against Texas A&M.
Rick Barnes, what a coach, what a classy dude. How come we can't get a Tennessee game?
Make a phone call. You only want to do games out west. You want to do a game in Knoxville?
I was just in Tennessee.
Why don't you let somebody know these things? I'm on board with that. So you only go east when it's something other than calling a game. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Because we haven't been east in 7 years to do a game. And now you want to go to Knoxville.
Wait a second. Weren't you in Cleveland with LeBron?
I was.
Okay.
That was not a college game, though. I'm surprised you remember
What's the difference?
that.
It's a college or a pro game. It's a basketball game, please.
By the way, LeBron could play tonight. That's the latest as the Lakers play the Clippers.
Take all the time you need, LeBron. Nobody is questioning you. You're just awesome.
He's missed the last 17 games.
How about that? Is this the longest he's ever been out?
Yeah, the longest of his career, yep.
Yeah. As durable a player as there's ever been.
And Luke has done a terrific job with LeBron out. 6-11. I know that doesn't sound like a great record, but consider that 2 years ago when LeBron missed 8 games, the Cavs went 0-8. So Luke deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done with the Lakers with LeBron James out.
If you take the top players off any team, they're not going to win. They're great players all around the land. Go Lakers!
The reserves were announced tonight, and you have 3 members of the Pac-12 that were named All-Star reserves. Klay Thompson, Russell Westbrook, Nick Vucevic, who played at USC. And, of course, James Harden is a starter. It's going to be on the possession Arizona ball. It's a jump ball situation when it gets stuck like that.
James Harden, who went to school here, his number retired. We were here that night, right? We had the beards. Number 13.
Yeah, I remember that.
So James Harden just had the greatest month offensively of any player in NBA history, other than Wilt Chamberlain.
45 points per game, basically, in the month
of January. 45 points a game. That's incredible.
They play on ESPN tomorrow night in Denver against the Nuggets.
How's Nikola Jokic doing?
He made the All-Star team. His
Fantastic.
first selection.
How do you know all this stuff?
I read the internet and check Twitter, something you should do. Because you'd be surprised at what people are saying about you as the 3 goes from Edwards, and the Sun Devils have their largest lead.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. After a slow start offensively for the Sun Devils, they have come alive. And I look down at the sign over the visitors' locker room.
Dylan Smith, no.
And that sign says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here."
Here's Cheatham, draws the foul. Zylan Cheatham, the only player in the Pac-12 averaging double figures, points and rebounds. That's also known, Bill, as a double-double. He will go to the line as Ira Lee commits the foul.
Ask Wilt how impressed he was with somebody getting a double-double. Okay, here's Tayshaun Cherry getting his face smashed by another. Here, why don't you come try that?
And he just
you
left
who
the
minimize other people's injuries.
Oh, stop that. He just left the court to get looked at.
But see Cheatham, he played at San Diego State for Steve Fisher tonight in San Diego. The Breitbart Hall of Fame dinner. Steve Fisher is going in to the Breitbart Hall of Fame in San Diego. Steve Fisher most important man in the history of basketball in the entire city and county of San Diego.
Is he in the Michigan Hall of Fame? Won a national championship.
Should be. Should be.
Really?
When was their last national championship?
Bill Free, to remember, left for the Arizona State job.
Right. And then Bo Schembechler said, only Michigan men coach Michigan boys.
Here's Randolph. Gets it to go. That's a good sign for Arizona. They need Brandon Randolph, the sophomore from Yonkers, New York.
So they're hanging around, yes, but what they're getting is only points off individual performances. You have to change your style when you don't have a top individual player. And Sean has to do a better job of developing individual talent. Nice passing.
That's White kicking it out. Lawrence can't get the three, and there's Randolph getting the rebound.
Look at Z Cheatham, the way he just attacks every single play.
Got to make that. Parcello wide open. That's what he's out there for, and he could knock it down out of bounds to ASU.
Alex Parcello is a terrific shooter. I was watching him today. They all go in. I don't understand this.
Check in with Molly.
Yeah, Dave. I talked to Cheatham earlier today, and he told me that they are really inspired by their coach, the fact that their coach has never beat Arizona. He told me that Bobby Hurley has made it known to the team, and they have a different intensity this week, starting with the coach, and it's trickling down. He said in order to be the best team in the state, it starts with taking down Arizona, and then they can take over the Pac-12 from there.
And then Northern Arizona after that.
Exactly.
I would say this is bigger. And the little chairs come out. Walton's World is
We're
next.
here, the little chairs. We can relax. Take a deep breath, everybody. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, tonight we're talking about the coaches who are here tonight. Sean and Bobby, two of my favorites. Both their dads coached them. John in Black Hawk High School in Beaver Falls, and Bobby Sr., the Hall of Famer from St. Anthony's. What a record. The bloodline, though. Brothers, Archie younger, 10 years younger than Sean. He's at Indiana now. He was at Dayton and Dan. He was at Rhode Island. Now he's at UConn. When they were playing, it was so fun. Sean was at Pittsburgh. Paul Evans was his coach. Very nice numbers. They won a lot. Bobby Hurley with Coach K, one of the great players of all time, record holders. When Bobby was playing, it was much-seen TV. Grant Hill, Christian Leitner, and then with Sean Miller at controls. Hold on, folks.
Lane's on the other wing. He finds. Send it in, Jerome.
Send it in, Jerome. Thank you, Bill Raftery. He's still alive, right? Oh my
He's
gosh.
still alive.
And
Stop
because of plays like that, and then additional ones by Shaquille O'Neal, they changed the technology of how the backboards were constructed. They got the breakaway rims.
Did you ever break a backboard?
Haven't.
But Sean Miller, you saw, made the pass there.
The
You mentioned
backboard
it.
was my friend. And when we played in college and high school, you couldn't dunk. It was against the rules.
You mentioned Pitt was really good. Sean was an excellent point guard, terrific ball handler. They had Charles Smith
Charles
who played
Smith
for the
and
Knicks.
Nick, who blocked his own shot 5 straight times on the same play.
And we all know who Bobby
I
played
call
with.
that.
It was interesting. I was talking with Bobby today about Zion Williamson and Duke. They're on our air Saturday playing St. John's, and I mentioned, and he actually heard you say it on the air, the comparison to Larry Johnson, and he said, I played against Larry Johnson in the Final Four twice. They got smoked by him one time by 30.
Beat him by 2 in the championship
when they
game the next year.
And he thought that was a good comparison, the Larry Johnson comparison.
But Zion is faster up and down the court. What Zion does in terms of his perfect balance, it's as if Leonardo da Vinci had constructed this guy Zion, because you can't tell when you watch him play whether he's right or left-handed until he shoots a jumper. But his footwork, his balance, his dexterity, he's ambidextrous. It's just phenomenal.
Got a foul here on Luther out on the perimeter, and that has them over the limit, so it's going to be a 1-and-1. That's the 19th foul by the Wildcats.
So we talked about Sean and Bobby, rivals and everything, same time frame. They were teammates on the national USA team in the Junior World Championships, played in Sheffield, England in 1991. They took the gold medal. They beat Canada. Teammates were Hubert Davis, George Lynch, Rodney Rogers, Calvert Chaney. You know who was the coach?
PJ.
Oh my gosh, can you believe that? Oh,
Bobby.
The conversations they must have had.
Bobby told a great story of PJ finding an Italian restaurant to take them all to. Right? Shocker. But somehow PJ found it even over there.
I'm shocked.
Here's Jeter with the shot clock down to 7.
Beautiful.
Throws up a brick.
Come on, that's great footwork. He hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Just describing the play, not analyzing it. Here's Cheatham with the rebound. You're supposed to be analyzing the game.
I did. I said it was a great play, and you called him out.
Here's Edwards.
No, here, let me undercut you, put you out for 2 weeks, and then you come back and sit here and watch somebody play. Please.
I could use a vacation from you for 2 weeks.
Go ahead. What's your name again?
Here's White backing down. Jeter powers it up.
Great defense, Chase Jeter. Remember, White has got to spin back. You can't execute the shot you just faked.
Coleman kicks it out. Randolph on target, and it's a 2-point game. Arizona playing well.
This is shocking, but that's the kind of style they need. Penetration and dish. Wild foray by Cheatham.
Both teams shooting under 40% from the field. A pull-up jumper. Short for Coleman.
Justin Coleman has to be a better offensive player.
They said today the Arizona State coaches Rob Edwards has to get going, and Edwards with 11 points answering the call tonight.
Timeout here. Sean Miller has seen enough. Sean Miller has to find a way to get Justin Coleman. When Sean was a boy growing up, Bill Ford and Kyle Macy were his heroes. That's the kind of style they need.
Rob Edwards with 11 points, 3 of 5 from three-point range.
Penetration and dish, draw defenders. It's impossible to be a great one-on-one player in the game unless you practice one-on-one. We don't see the real practices. We just see him shooting spot-up shots. You got to practice the shots that you're going to get in the games. We would be remiss in talking about these great coaches if we didn't bring in the Drew family with Scott, Bryce, and Homer Drew. And when you put all those guys together, the Hurleys, the Millers, and the Drews, you've got legacy, you've got history, you've got tradition.
5 sets of brothers coaching right now in Division I, and we've obviously got 2 of them here tonight. Arizona with the shot clock down to 5. Luther puts it on the floor.
Too many fakes, one too many fakes. You had him coming back to the baseline. Get in the air, Ryan, and deliver.
Here's Dort leaving it for Edwards.
Whoa.
Fouled by Smith. He will shoot 3.
Look at these guys running over and picking up the spirit that they have on both of these squads. For years, University of Arizona has dominated this rivalry. And the crowds used to be all U of A. We come into this building here and it would be 70% U of A and their chants would ring down. And you know how much that hurts? You ever had that happen in your home court? The other team's fans buy all the tickets. In this game tonight, 7,000 students downloaded the tickets for 3,000 ASU student seats. They lined up. The guys who didn't get to come in, because once you get to 3,000 students, you're turned away at the door. This is not like the Grateful Dead. And so they all go next door to the Arboretum and they get their tailgate party going. And then when it gets too cold outside, which it rarely does here, 75 degrees here, polar vortex has not come all the way down to Phoenix. Then they head over to Mill Street. And oh my gosh, with the Phoenix Open going on at the same time.
2 out of 3 free throws there for Edwards. Speaking of the temperature, so Eric Curry, who's one of the officials tonight,
right?
He said
excellent ref.
Going from his house to here was a 100-degree difference in temperature. It was minus 28 when he left Minnesota, 72 degrees when he arrived. How about that?
So why is he going back?
I don't know that he is.
Other than his wife Kelly, who's just fantastic.
Offensive rebound there by Luther.
And their new young baby.
You know a lot about the refs.
I love the refs.
Smith.
We've got good ones tonight, too.
Not close. Arizona
Beautiful
again,
job.
under 30%.
That's basketball. I love it when guys bring the offensive rebound back out.
Dylan Smith. Had 3 chances there, and finally Smith able to knock it down. 4 of their 9 baskets are threes tonight.
Lou Dort looking to be the 8th player from the province of Quebec ever to make it to the professional ranks. The first one, Ernie Vandeweghe, one of the founding fathers of the NBA. Beautiful penetration and dish. One more pass, please.
Instead, Randolph takes the
Ryan
jumper.
Luther is wide open at the top of the lane there, please.
And that's a shot that he can make. Here's Dort putting it on the
That's
floor.
A play.
He's so powerful. He missed, got it back, misses again. Luther kicks it out now to Randolph, looking to push the tempo, and he's fouled on the drive by Cheatham.
But if we can get a replay of this before they pull the little chairs out onto the court. Brandon Randolph gets ahead of the pack, and the Wildcats, they just stopped running. Please, never stop running until the whistle stops you. The sun is always shining here. Tonight, it's shining on us at the bank. I was kayaking on the Tempe Town Lake there, right on the Salt River.
Bill can't golf, his wrists don't bend. St. John's Duke, noon Eastern on ESPN, followed by Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, Florida, Indiana, Michigan State, Tennessee, Texas A&M. We'll have UCLA and undefeated Washington. Huskies perfect in conference play over on ESPN2. A great day of college basketball on the ESPN Network Saturday.
UCLA is playing so much better now. That's going to be a fantastic game. 1 o'clock, Heck Edmondson, one of the greatest arenas in the history of college basketball. And the Bruins looking to make their mark.
So Randolph made those free throws. Those were the first attempts at the line for Arizona in the game. Arizona State, 11-0 fast break points. That's the difference in the game right now, because when Arizona's defense...
It's a 2-point game.
But the point is, when Arizona's defense gets set up in the half court, it's been pretty good so far. Dort able to clean up that inside and bank it in for his first basket.
You can't make anything out of the free throw disparity because Arizona State's attacking the rim. University of Arizona is shooting perimeter jumpers. You're not going to get fouled on that unless the defense is making foolish mistakes.
Right, I was talking about the fast break points. Here's Jeter.
Yeah, but if you say it's a 11-0 fast break differential, it's a 2-point game, please.
Edwards had that go off his foot.
And you mentioned earlier that there's 5 coaches who are brother combinations.
Right.
You didn't lay it out there for the other ones. You got James and Joe Jones up at Yale and Boston, and you got Brian and Dan Earl at Cornell and what is that?
I can't read your writing, so good luck. Here we go.
Oh my gosh,
Brian Earl and Dan Earl.
Okay.
Who's more intense, you think, Bobby or Danny Hurley? That's a tough one. We'll get after it. Both got after it as players. Danny at Seton Hall, and Bobby obviously at Duke.
Did Danny play for PJ? Or is PJ too old?
I think PJ was
PJ's
gone
old
at that point. No, PJ's not that old.
He's older than I am.
Oh, that's not saying much. Randolph knocks down another 3. So Brandon Randolph having his best first half in a while. They've needed this.
But it's the kind of shots he's getting. People are driving at his man. His man will rotate, especially since he hasn't been making any shots. We're going to see who can rotate this weekend up in Washington.
Dort takes it strong again. Back-to-back buckets for Lou Dort, the 19-year-old freshman whose parents were born in Haiti. He was in Montreal most recently. In his first year with the Sun Devils.
Only 2 guys currently from Quebec who are in the NBA, Chris Boucher and then Cam Birch. How's Boucher doing? You're the NBA guy.
I mean, I'm the NBA guy. Coleman commits the foul. That's his second, reaching in on Martin. 10-team foul.
Canada, where Lou Dort is from, second most players from any country other than the United States in the NBA.
It is amazing how that's changed over the last 15 years or so, all these players from Canada.
Well, Roy Rana, the coach. So I'm reading Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown about Seattle. And it's just a fantastic read. With the Huskies are at the very top of the conference there, appropriate timing. I'm heading there tomorrow. That's going to be a game. Amazon in the morning, and the Conover Shell House in the afternoon. The Boys in the Boat.
And the game is at 1 o'clock local, 4 Eastern, ESPN2, UCLA at Washington.
Don't miss that game. That is going to be epic. We're going to see Moses Brown.
Dylan Smith, and rebounded by Cheatham. Under a minute to go here in the half.
Matisse Thybulle, Jalen Noel, who's a bigger, stronger, more experienced version of Lou Dort over there.
Chris Wilkes for UCLA.
Nice passing. That's Steve Nash.
Romello White with the slam.
Look at the joy. Look at the happiness. Look at the hair. I'm so jealous. Remy, who gets his hair from his mom, that's a foul there. Come on, you can't throw the little guy to the ground.
He just set a screen. Coleman hits the 3.
Please, let me try that on you, okay? Please. And then you call for the TSA security man. Timeout here. Bobby Hurley, what a first half. Conference of Champions at its best.
So he'll draw up a play here for the final possession with his team leading by 4.
How about a couple birthday wishes? Jackie Robinson at 100. Thank you, Jackie, for our lives. And then Stuart Udall, 99 years young. He's passed away, though. What a guy, Stuart Udall. Jackie Robinson, though, baseball was his 4th best sport. When he played basketball, he led Pasadena City College 2 years in scoring. He led the conference, the Pacific Coast Conference, when he played for UCLA for 2 years in scoring, and never even made the first team, all-conference team. Wow. And then Stuart Udall, early proponent of expanding our national parks and monuments. He was a congressman here from Arizona, Secretary of the Interior, protecting our sacred lands under President Kennedy and LBJ.
Back to basketball.
What did we miss?
Well,
please.
I wanted to ask you what you think Bobby Hurley is looking for here.
A shot.
I know, but you're the
2
analyst.
points
so
or 3 points?
You're supposed to analyze what might happen.
What's been working well for you? Go back to that.
Romo. Be Tony Romo again. Predict for me.
Okay, curl up Remy Martin up to the top to receive. You got tons of time here. Spread the floor. Let Remy come down the lane. Get spot up guys. They took Cheatham out. They got Dort. They got Rob Edwards here. Those are your guys together. There's the curl up right there.
And he got tripped up that time by Coleman.
Down the lane.
Takes it in, and he was fouled.
Remy Martin gets fouled 6 times on the last 2 plays to get 2 free throws.
They get Dylan Smith for his 3rd. Clearly got him up top that time. So Martin,
if he didn't have any hair, would there have been contact?
7 points for Remy Martin, 3 of 4 at the line so far.
You don't seem to like your job.
What do you mean?
Just grouchy all the time. How about Devin Brooks for the Suns? He just donated $2.5 million to local Phoenix Suns charities here. What
did
an
you
awesome
call him?
dude. Devin Booker, sorry. I was thinking of the time that my own teammate broke my face in a game. That was Michael Brooks. And that's when I had to wear my own face mask. And oh my God.
The things that go on inside of that head of yours, we need a 30 for 30 on that alone. 5 seconds to go in the half.
Penetration and dish.
Luther cans a 3 with
what
2 seconds to go.
Conference of Champions.
So that's big. Luther and the Wildcats hit 7 threes. They had 5 2-point baskets in that first half.
They have come to play the Wildcats, shorthanded as can be, standing tall and proud Conference of Champions.
Here's Molly with Coach Hurley.
Coach, what does your defense need to continue to do against their shooters?
I thought the rebounding was fairly good. We missed 2 in a row, and that led to a 3. We're flirting with disaster on some of these, leaving them wide open on the perimeter too many times. We got to get matched up. Our rotations got to get cleaned up.
I saw you looking upset. What was the plan for that final offensive play of the half?
Well, like it was fine. Remy drove, and we got to keep attacking because we've been able to get in the paint and put them in a bad spot, and we've managed to get to the free throw line, so we got to keep doing that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Dave.
Great job, Molly. What Bobby Hurley's got to tell them, look, we're giving up spot-up 3s. That means we have to deny guard penetration. But when Remy Martin is doing the grand circle Steve Nash offensive creativity, setting it up for Romello White. Throw it down one time. Ryan Luther spotting up on the 3-point line. Sun Devils giving up penetration, and that leads to 3.
E-Trade halftime report. And welcome back to Tempe, Arizona on the Arizona State campus.
Look at the water fountain from the Salt River, the banks of the river, and then at the base of the Tonto National Forest.
A 3-point lead for Arizona State. Everybody chasing the Huskies at 8-0. Washington has UCLA up next. You've got a 4-way tie for 3rd with Arizona State, Arizona, UCLA, and USC a half game behind Utah. Dave Pasch, Hall of Famer Bill Walton, Molly McGrath is here as well. Bill, let's start with Arizona. Brandon Randolph, a guy the coach has said we absolutely have to have tonight, and boy did he deliver.
What a magnificent game for the Wildcats, even though they're a little bit behind, but the way they played last weekend, they have never lost to Bobby Hurley, U of A. So, with the great style that Sean Miller's got them playing tonight, with penetration and dish, Justin Coleman's been in the lane, but Brandon Coleman Brandon Randolph from Yonkers already has 12 points. On the other side is Rob Edwards, the Detroit Flash here. He's running the floor, coming off screens, in transition. Just beautiful footwork, stepping in, letting it fly. He's got 13 points already. That is his number. You got Rob Edwards. He did that against Kansas. He did that against Oregon. When he's on fire, these Sun Devils are very difficult to beat. Fork them if you're the Sun Devils.
Here's Molly.
Well, you guys talked about Brandon Randolph. Sean Miller really happy that he got going offensively. He just said he has to be careful. I don't love his shot selection. He's taking some bad shots. He's too good a player to fall in love with the three. He said we need to be better at making 2 points. We haven't finished at the basket. We're missing those close shots, and we're just fouling way too much.
Here's some numbers to back that up, Molly. 7 of 16 from three-point range for Arizona. 5 of 21 from two-point range. Meanwhile, Dort knocks down a three. He's only been shooting 19% from out there since Pac-12 play began.
If Lou Dort can develop the consistency of a truly great player, when he just brings it every single night, watch a great pass, Justin Coleman. Ira Lee with a powerful finish. He loves finishing left.
No Brandon Williams tonight, out with a sprained knee. Chase Jeter is back, not starting the second half. Didn't start the first. That was Remy Martin hitting Romello White underneath for two.
This is Pac-12 Conference of Champions basketball. Both teams playing masterfully on the offensive end. Look at the coaches. They're just standing there kind of perplexed. Oh my God, I've lost total control.
You're just coming to that realization. Luther misses a three. Here come the Sun Devils with a 6-point lead. Pull-up three, good for Martin.
This crowd, this scene. At halftime, I got to chat with Dr. Michael Crow. I got to chat with DeAndre Ayton. And this place is rocking. The bank is open. Remy Martin all have a double. Arizona, the 6th largest state, as beautiful as it gets. The Mogollon Rim, yes, that separates the lower deserts from the higher plateaus. Arizona State has come out on fire. Lou Dort, his first touch, yeah, three. And then in transition, Remy Martin, just great vision. Remy says, forget the double, I'm taking triples here. Let's fire it up here. Get this thing going, and this crowd has been just electric.
I know how Remy feels working with you all these years. 12 points, 5 assists. So 3 threes in the first half for Arizona State, and they come out with 2 threes in the first minute of the second half, and they're on an 8-2 run to start this half, pulling out to a 9-point lead.
I love Remy Martin and all these guys who I've seen grow up over the years. Now they're maturing. The terrific young man and just filling this arena. The dream is coming true. Great defense by Remy. Where's the rotation defensively? Ooh.
And then
Romello, he gets,
took a shot to the midsection, let's put it that way.
I'll let you describe that, and you'll be quick to say that he'll be fine.
I'm not going to be quick to say that after seeing where and how he got hit inadvertently. It's a first foul on White, too. And you get called for a foul. That's insult to injury. Coleman at the line. Arizona shot just 2 free throws in the first half.
But they're not going to the rim, and you're not going to get fouled on jumpers, please.
And you got the curtain of distraction going here.
What is this?
What do you mean? You've been here like 100 times.
Oh, my gosh. Who are those guys? Where do they get these guys?
No idea. Actually, a couple of, I think, Coyotes here tonight.
I love Coyotes.
I'm talking about the hockey team. Here's
Throw
a
it down.
Dort missed the dunk. And we're talking about Arizona and its struggles this year. The Wildcats lost all their starters from a year ago as Dylan Smith hits a 3. Obviously, DeAndre Ayton's the #1 pick in the draft. You have some players that were considering going to Arizona out of high school that chose not to. You had some that decommitted.
There's DeAndre. Fantastic.
They're going to be fine, though. You've got Josh Green and Nico Mannion, 2 McDonald's All-Americans coming to U of A. If they can keep some of these guys that are here now another year to grow. Is Cheatham! What a play! Man, was he up there for a while.
So, first of all, where are these guys going from Arizona?
Well, you could transfer out, or some guys, and there are plenty that we've seen.
Even an Ayton transfer out? Where's he going?
I have no idea.
Please, you're looking to make positive steps forward. Great
Relief.
Relief.
But, Ayton's an interesting story. He was starting. His minutes weren't what he wanted, and so he decided to transfer midseason.
Where did he go?
But Arizona hanging around, down 4, and they're 5-3 in the Pac-12. Sean Miller was asked this week, are you an NCAA tournament team? He said no. But
he's not going to say that after getting pummeled by USC and UCLA.
Coleman misses, batted out. Tracked down by Dylan Smith. Joe Lenardi, your guy, has the winner of this game in. 3 short there by Randolph.
Don't get me started.
Arizona State turns it over.
Guys started with guys who live under the rock. Please. Joe waits until it's all done and then he makes his picks. Please.
Here's an Arizona State foul. That's the second team foul.
This crowd is just irate. Come on, the guy's dribbling away from the basket. Where's the impact? So Remy's hit. That hair is natural. I talked to him about that.
As opposed to being fake? Like, it's not a wig.
I know guys who have fake hair. Okay.
I know, but that's
So that's real hair.
Coleman for 3. It's a 1-point game.
You would just bury them. Please. This is a great program. It's going through tough times.
Arizona State, a program on the rise, made the tournament last year, have not been to back-to-back NCAA since the early 80s.
Great ball movement.
They have a good win over Kansas earlier this year.
Whoa.
They've been
Watch your face. See, Cheatham is everywhere.
They've been
shot clock, shot clock.
That's it.
Remy doesn't know it.
Oh, but there were still 5 seconds. Oh! No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter from the hash mark. Bobby said shot clock. He didn't say shoot it, though.
Why not? And now the crowd has gone over the top here. Mill Street erupts.
Coleman, White, jump ball. It's going to stay with Arizona.
I love watching Romello White. I love players that sweat. I love just dripping off him. He's got real hair too. But Remy Martin, when he gets this ball after the air ball, and then Bobby Hurley saying, come on, let's go. Let it fly, let's go. I'll have a triple Remy Martin.
Just give me the whole thing. Well, often here at Wells Fargo Arena, they have celebrities take part in the festivities and the curtain of distraction when the opposing team is shooting free throws. A couple of members of the Coyotes, the National Hockey League team, in attendance tonight, and they're with Molly McGrath.
That's right, current and former Arizona Coyotes, Jason Demers and Paul Bissonnette. How did you guys come up with this idea? You just like wearing singlets, or?
It was a team effort. We like to sleep in these, and we just want to do anything we could to support the Sun Devils. So tried our best. We didn't get the result we wanted, but we're hoping they pull this out and go Sun Devils.
I want everyone to know at home that this is all natural, grade A organic beef.
I'm feeling a little uncomfortable here. Tell me about your first ASU experience.
Oh, it's been amazing. They've rolled out the red carpet. It's such a fun thing to do this. We were looking this up online before, and we just wanted to be a part of it. So it's great to that they welcomed us, and like I said, we didn't get the result we wanted, but we had a good time.
I don't even know what you asked because it's so loud in here, but go ASU, Sun Devils, and that's all I got to say.
Dave, who would have thought ASU's team is number 16 in the country just 4 years in? The desert is a hotbed for hockey.
Everything I feared about hockey players has just been confirmed. I need an outfit like that.
No, you had one when we did that rowing thing at Washington a few years ago, and you wore it on air. I can't unsee that.
The boys in the boat. Daniel James Brown. I need one of those.
Yeah, that's an outfit better suited for you. That way we can't see your face. Here's Ira Lee, missed the layup.
Look at Chase Jeter. Relentless pursuit of the ball.
By the way, Lou Dort picked up his third foul. 4-point Arizona State lead.
Lou Dort's playing marginally well, but Bobby has so many weapons at his disposal. This is the key guy right here. You got to get him shots, though. He's not looking to create his own.
Rob Edwards hasn't scored yet in the half, and he was fouled on the drive here. That is 4 on Dylan Smith. They already have very little depth, and now Smith has to go to the bench with 15 minutes on the clock.
So while we have a moment here, let's just congratulate Adam Silver. Tomorrow is the 5th-year anniversary since he took over the NBA from David Stern, and what a magnificent job. Just the seamless transition, and things just keep getting better. Wow.
Speaking of the NBA, what did you think of, first of all, Anthony Davis's trade request, and then the Pelicans taking him out of their pregame video while he's sitting on the bench?
My guess is that's a sign that they're going to trade him.
White with the slam.
Penetration, dish. Arizona has no chance. They're staying remarkably close. Sun Devils have been the better team, but they're not going to win the Wildcats unless they stop that guard penetration.
Here's Dutree putting on the floor. Anthony Davis wants to play for the Lakers, but I'm guessing we're not going to get much out of you on that subject. You're a little too close to it. Here's
great defense.
Martin ahead to Edwards, had to track down the loose ball.
Look at how hard the Sun Devils are running the floor here.
And they call a push here on Dutree.
When you're playing in a game like this, just keep running. Just go. The crowd will not let you get tired.
Second team foul on Arizona. All right, the NBA returns to ESPN tomorrow. We talked about the trade of the potential trade for Anthony Davis. How about Kristaps Porzingis? That's why that's Kevin Knox there. Porzingis is injured anyway. Celtics at the Garden. Then it's James Harden, a former Sun Devil, taking on Jokic and the Nuggets. How about the Knicks sending Porzingis to Dallas today?
Is that a done deal?
It's a done deal.
Okay, and what did the Knicks get in return?
They get Dennis Smith, DeAndre Jordan, a first-round pick.
Okay.
Also, Tim Hardaway went to Dallas in that trade.
Okay, so
I know you love Porzingis.
I do, but
his skill level. He's hurt,
fantastic.
obviously, but when
he's
he
not
gets
playing
out,
all year, right?
well, it's possible he could be back. But think about going forward. You have Luka Doncic.
He's really fun.
And Porzingis.
That's just tremendous. I love Mark Cuban. I love Donnie Nelson. I love Rick Carlisle. Dallas. Come on, man. That's just tremendous. And DeAndre Ayton there. And who's the guy with him?
That's Mikal Bridges.
Oh, he's from the champion Villanova squad. You're probably going to quick pile on Jay Wright because they're only ranked number 14. They've won 2 out of the last 3 championships, please.
I didn't say anything. Here's a foul.
I wasn't going to wait for you to blast Villanova.
Kamani Lawrence with the personal, his first. and already 6 team fouls on Arizona State. Luka Doncic right now would be the winner of Rookie of the Year.
Do you have a vote?
I don't, but I'm just asking
how can
around.
you predict?
Well, I've asked a lot of people who do have votes, and they're going to pick him. But Ayton's had an excellent year. The problem is the Suns are losing again, while Dallas is in the playoff picture.
Love to see the Phoenix Suns get it going again.
Dupree gets that to bounce in.
This is a great basketball city when the team is playing well. Wow. And what a foundational pillar you have in DeAndre Ayton. It was great chatting with him at halftime. This big smile on his face. Sad that he's hurt right now, but health is everything. Just ask DeAndre Ayton. Just ask Chase Jeter. Or just ask me.
13:20 to go. 4-point lead for Arizona State. Hesitation by Martin. Fall away. Can't get the bounce. White with the offensive rebound. And then he's fouled. Third team foul in Arizona. Free throws coming up.
Strength. Power. Romello White. I love these guys who come to just fight.
Dupree picked up the foul, his second. And boy, one official had it as a side out, and now they get it corrected. It's a shooting foul. So Romello White, sophomore from Atlanta, will be at the line. Bobby Hurley's done a tremendous job with this program, Bill. The one thing he hasn't done is beat Arizona, but last year made the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. They lost in the first 4 to Syracuse. They beat Kansas back-to-back years. That win over
I was
Kansas,
there for both of those games. Those were remarkable accomplishments.
First home win versus a #1 team in school history.
I was here that day. But what Bobby Hurley, one of the things that he's done here in remarkable progression of this program is he has adopted all the new technologies. And what they do, they've hired a new strength and conditioning coach, Daniel Marshall, who went to U of A, met his wife there, Dominique. Dominique was a great volleyball player down at Tucson. She played with Bree Walton. But the adoption of everything new and moving it forward, that is the new American university. And if you ever get out to the Sky Song satellite campus here, the online digital campus that they have with 40,000 current students, change your life. I was there this morning. Spectacular.
Other news, it's a 3-point game. Arizona State leading Arizona, 12:40 on the clock.
And if they're going to keep walking it up, we'll have plenty of time to talk about a lot of stuff.
Edwards almost lost the ball into the backcourt. And he's fouled by Dutree. Not a smart play at all. It's a third foul on Dutree. It'll be 3 free throws as well here for Edwards. The Arizona defense has stepped up here since that initial second half surge by the Sun Devils.
I love Sean Miller. What he's done with these guys to come in here after getting pummeled. This guy can coach and he can lead. And what he's been able to do in this time of trouble, in this time of adversity, remarkable. Congratulations, Sean, and thank you.
Won 3 of the last 4 regular season titles. They have the best Pac-12 road record over the last 8 years. Can they steal one here in Tempe against their rivals? One more free throw for Edwards, a transfer from Cleveland State who had to sit out last year. He's originally from Detroit.
Yeah, like George Gervin and Johnny Davis, Dave DeBusschere, and all kinds of legends. That's a real high standard of excellence there coming from Detroit.
Got fouled shooting a 3, so 4 of 5 on the night. And gets that one.
How about the great collegiate basketball in the state of Michigan? You got the Spartans, you got the Wolverines, Beeline, you got Tom Izzo. When did they play each other? Let it fly, Ryan.
Luther buries it.
When Ryan Luther plays like that, that's his game.
3 3-pointers for Luther, and it's a 3-point game again.
You keep burying the Wildcats, and they keep clawing and scratching back.
Are you all right over there? Let's get it.
I'm fired up. Look at that pass. Throw it down, Romello. No, that's DeQuan Lake.
Yes, it is. From St. Thomas, the senior, gets the slam. 15 points, 7 assists now for Remy Martin, so he's doing a little bit of everything. He also has a steal in the game.
DeQuan Lake used to play. What a crossover there. Wow.
And he got Tayshaun Cherry to reach in for his 3rd personal foul.
The Cats clawing back, scratching, hissing, penetration. drive the ball at somebody else's defender, and your guy steps into the hole. Let it fly. Threes are raining. Yes, Sean Miller coaching it. Super happy guys in the studio in Bristol that Paul White is back playing again, because when he's injured, that really hurts that Oregon Duck attack.
Here are some other Pac-12 headlines. Washington off to its best start in conference play since the 50s, and they've got UCLA up next. We'll be there Seattle Saturday afternoon. Zylan Cheatham has 14 rebounds tonight. He's the only Pac-12 player averaging a double-double. What a season Jalen Noel has had. Trace Tinkle as well for Oregon State. 5-point game here in Tempe.
You make the 50s sound like an ancient history. They were Final Four team in 1953, please.
Coleman gets the free throw.
Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. You been to the ostrich farm lately? Is that where you sleep every night?
Arizona State has not missed a free throw in the game. Now 8.
Can we have our
7 of 7 for Arizona State. Arizona getting to the line here in the second half 6 times. Arizona 8 of 8, 6 of 6 this half at the free throw line.
Can we have our next production meeting at the ostrich farm down there?
We don't have production meetings.
That's not true. That's all we do is have meetings and conference calls. Please.
I can't believe you just said that. Edwards
all we do, man.
Missed the shot, and then there's a foul call. Getting you to rehearse is like we got to lasso you and rope you in and tie you down to get you to actually get ready for a telecast. As you search these notes
Failing
here, which
to prepare is preparing to fail.
What is on these notes here?
Thoughts
about basketball or something else?
Basketball's the easiest part. Please.
3-point game, 11 minutes remaining in the second half. Arizona with possession. Barcelo from nearby Chandler, Arizona ties the game at 57.
Looks like he shot it from his front porch. Grew up having to work on his dad's farm, which was about 10 miles away from where he lived. Oh my gosh, he was talking to me about it today. It's a lot more fun playing basketball inside than working on the farm. Throw it down to Quan Lake. He lost his shoe. Are these guys wearing the Harden shoes tonight?
They are. How about no bench points at all for either team at halftime? Arizona State now has 4, both field goals by Lake here in the last couple minutes.
Lake used to play a lot before they got Tayshaun Cherry here, before Kamani Lawrence got healthy, before Rob Edwards found his game.
Terrific drive and finish by Coleman, the transfer from Samford, even again at 59.
Coleman has to do more of that. It's so sporadic. When you're a good player, you got to bring it every single possession. Great passing.
Lake fouled, and that is 16 fouls on Arizona. They're going to get Lee for the personal. That's his 4th, so 2 Arizona players, Dylan Smith and Ira Lee, with 4 fouls apiece.
The hardest thing on offense in basketball is finding somebody who can create a shot. Kareem, the greatest offensive force in the history of basketball. He can do that. Michael Jordan can do that. LeBron James, and he can do that. Magic, Larry Bird, Wilt, they could all do that. Bill Russell did it by starting the fast break on offense.
Shot clock down to 8. Edwards is open. Can't hit the spot up 3.
Treat them everywhere.
But tracked down by Randolph, and he's fouled, and that's going to put Randolph at the line. Lawrence picking up his 2nd personal, 8th team foul.
That's a good foul by Kamani Lawrence. He missed the beginning of last year with a stress fracture in his foot. Really just coming back from that now. Very promising young player.
The last Arizona lead was 7-6. 16:35 to go in the first half. Can Randolph put him in front with the curtain of distraction? Looking on, he missed the front end, but
Ryan Luther everywhere. Where would the Wildcats be without Ryan Luther?
First missed free throw for Arizona tonight. The Wildcats had made their first 8. Coleman in and out on the 3. Cheatham with the rebound.
They haven't used that ball screen all night long. They come to advantage. Just worst part of basketball today.
Cheatham throws it away. Kind of got in the same space as Lake, and they couldn't connect. Arizona and Arizona State play the Washington schools next week. So, man, if Washington beats it UCLA and then wins the 2 games in Arizona, the regular season title's decided in early February.
Calm down. Take a deep breath. Got to play the game on Saturday at 1 o'clock. UCLA, they'll be ready.
Barcelo with the floater short.
And that crowd at Heck Edmondson, watch out. Alaska Airlines, they deliver. The dog. Puff, puff. The Conover Shell House. Daniel James Brown, the boys in the boat.
I don't mind.
You don't like to read, do you?
Barcelo commits a foul.
What do you like?
Edwards. And that is the 3rd on Barcelo. 17 foul to be a 1-1.
Just a wild guess, but my guess is that your favorite part of life is the TSA line.
What is wrong with you tonight? I mean, you were
I'm
hissing.
fired up, man.
And you were
just
hissing
trying
earlier. I take the barking over the hissing.
Trying to bring me down.
Edwards shooting a 1-1 here.
What does the song go? Don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Neil Young, let's go.
Dylan Smith with a rebound off the missed free throw.
Does Noreen watch these games too, or does she just watch the Duck games?
You mean
Noreen?
Kevin McKenna, the assistant coach for Oregon. His mom?
The little Blue Jay.
Yeah, they're playing right now. She's probably watching now.
I was just wondering. I wanted to give her a hand.
You just wanted to drink sip the Baileys again. Arizona's got the lead. The bank shot by Randolph, 61-59.
I think we should send her some Remy Martin. Have her be true and loyal to the Conference of Champions.
He's about to check back in. And a foul is called here on Arizona State. Kamani Lawrence's 3rd, timeout in Tempe.
What a turn of events saved only by the little chairs.
college basketball is more than a game. It's the season-long pursuit of being the best and the place where anything is possible. A full day of college hoops begins Saturday at noon and continues at 6 on ESPN.
There will be 9 Wendy's Award candidates playing in those 5 games. Our Wendy's Wooden Watch focuses on 2 of those, both for Tennessee. Admiral Schofield, Grant Williams, the #1 team in the country.
Wow. Hey, when does Duke play North Carolina? When does Michigan play Michigan State? And I did get your name. Your name is now Dr. Ice, in honor of the Celtics team doctor, who no matter what your injury was, put some ice on it.
3 ball for Luther, and the lead is 5. Arizona's made 12 3-pointers and only 10 2-pointers in the game.
And look at the style they're playing with. They've just passed on the ball screens, and they're doing cross screens and penetration and dig. They're doing down screens, back screens, movement without the ball. And then now it's the Sun Devils who can't stick a fork in it.
But Lawrence comes back and knocks down the jumper. If Arizona somehow pulls this out, we got a long way to go. This will be one of the best wins for Sean Miller, given where he feels his team is right now.
Well, we saw him last week.
They get beat by 20 or more points in consecutive games for the first time in 36 years at Arizona.
How about if Arizona wins this game, you walk home?
Luther again, back-to-back triples for Luther, the grad transfer from Pitt. He's got 5 threes.
Best game I've ever seen Ryan Luther play. Spent his whole life in Pittsburgh. That's an offensive foul.
And it is on Randolph. That is the 8th team foul. It'll be a 1-and-1. They've been trying to push Luther to just pull the trigger, just take the shot, because they think he can make this consistently. It looks like his confidence is back.
Also, you think that confidence is important? It's only one of the top 3 performance blocks of the pyramid of success, along with poise and competitive greatness.
Dort gets the front end, the 1-1.
If Arizona State doesn't win this, please.
Well,
Arizona doesn't have any of their players.
It's been such a weird year for Arizona State, right? We saw the Kansas game, then they come back to lose to Princeton at home.
That Princeton game was great.
And then they lose to Utah. They were up 18 points and lose that game.
Against Princeton?
No, Utah, the next game.
Okay. Well, that's a great program. You got Larry Kraskowiak. We need to do more Utah games, please. Turn the corner and get to the hoop. Tease them.
Coleman, no. The tip goes for Chase Jeter, who's back after missing the last couple of games with a back injury.
Remember Bobby Hurley at halftime telling Molly, we're not doing guard penetration. We're not denying it.
Great finish by Lou Dort.
But that's one-on now. The Sun Devils, they're playing one-on-one basketball, and it's the Wildcats who are playing the team game.
Good point.
This is not National Compliment Day. This is National Backward Day.
That's every show we do.
Look at Chase Jeter.
No good on the shot, but he was fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
You know, we talked about Leonardo da Vinci and his drawing of Zion Williamson. Leonardo da Vinci, he used to write everything backwards. He'd start right, he'd write right to left, and he'd put all his letters backwards too. I mean, how could you figure out what he was talking about?
Somebody did.
Chase Jeter, a man among boys out there, heroically playing with a badly injured back, taken down on a rebound on his own home court.
Did not start. Got hurt against Oregon State, missed the 2 games in Los Angeles, had a shoulder injury 2 years ago at Duke, transferred to Arizona, and having a big impact tonight.
So do you detect any correlation in the fact that Chase Jeter is playing and the Wildcats are playing better?
Deep 3, Martin.
Oh!
He's got 18 points. He hit a shot from the hash mark, and then he gets a 3 to go with an incredible bounce.
This crowd. I love the Conference of Champions. Every game we have is just tremendous. Great ball movement.
Same spot, Luther. No,
Look at
different
Chase
result this
Dieter.
time. Made 2 threes earlier from there.
This crowd will not sit down the rest of the night.
Luther's season high is 20. He's got 17 for Arizona.
And look at the poise and competitive greatness of this Wildcat team right now.
Smith has it rejected, out of bounds, going to stay with U of A, 12 to shoot. Bob Edwards checks back in for ASU.
Bobby Hurley needs offense badly. The Wildcats, that's just a terrible offense. You got to pass the ball when you got 2 guys on you and you're hanging in the air behind the backboard, please.
Got a mismatch here. You got Cheatham guarding Coleman on the perimeter. Remy Martin called for a foul. Got the arm.
Please. That's just a bailout.
Randolph will be in the
Crowd
line.
can't believe it here.
I think it was on the way up. He had his arm, and that's what
but then
the
Brandon
official
Randolph
saw.
jumped into him. Brandon Randolph is bigger, stronger.
Just explaining it. I'm not saying it was the right call.
Look, I've got 2 eyes.
Look at Bobby Hurley. Look at the intensity. Eric Curry is staring at him right now as if to say, go ahead, you want to keep doing that? We'll throw you out like we did a few years ago.
That was awesome. But that game, Arizona pounded the Sun Devils. And this crowd, which wants desperately for their Sun Devils to be able to fork them all. Oh my gosh.
Martin, another one. Got it again! Degree of difficulty off the charts tonight for him.
That looked like the shot he made for the game winner against Kansas. Sean Miller forced to take a timeout. What a night for the Conference of Champions in the Valley of the Sun.
Remy Martin, 21 points. Just give me it all. The 3rd largest crowd ever in this arena, watching a good one, 72-71. How about Remy Martin with 21 points and incredibly difficult 3-point shots.
But he's just playing freely. He's having a great time. He's healthy. His ankles aren't bothering him. Step back threes, penetration, laying it off for throwdown dunks, and then Ryan Luther on the other side, playing the best basketball ever in his life. This Pittsburgh native, who was 23 years old now, is a 5th-year grad student, but the jumpers, the spacing, the timing, the delivery, this guy has never been out of Pittsburgh before coming down here to the Sonoran Desert. He loves to play golf. He's a grad student. His degree was in marketing in Pittsburgh. Right now he's in the educational leadership program, classmates of Chase Jeter and Justin Coleman, all seniors.
How about Remy Martin when he hit that three? You saw Bobby Hurley's look. Remember, there was 5 on the timer. He said, shot clock, shot clock. He didn't say shoot, though. But Martin did, and he made it. And with 4:15 on the clock, it's coming down to the wire here in Tempe again between these two rivals in their 235th meeting. Coleman's floater short. Offensive rebound. Jeter taken away by Dort. He doesn't have numbers. He'll pull it out.
Now bring the ball up top.
Instead, Martin drives and scores and gives the Devils the lead again.
Remy Martin has just ignored every concept of reality in this game here. And it's working. Over the top.
To the point guard. Sean Miller shaking his head. He did not like that decision. They try to lob it to Coleman.
Why not get Ryan Luther another 3? The guy's on fire. Over the top, Jeter.
Oh, that's who you lob it to.
Bobby calling the crowd up and down. Sean Miller says, we've got to stop this. We have seen Z Cheatham throw these down all year long. He had one against Oregon right here in Wells Fargo that will make your mouth and dreams just water. DeAndre Ayton having the time of his life along with Mikal Bridges.
Well, remember, he went to Arizona, so he's probably not thrilled right now.
Well, come on, this is a great game, please.
Great pass to Cheatham for the throwdown.
The effort by both teams and the elevation by Z Cheatham, who grew up in South Phoenix, playing outside all the time. When it got super hot here in the summertime, he'd go into the Alta Vista Rec Center where they did have air conditioning and just never stop playing. What a leader, what a human being, a perfect representative of what the Conference of Champions is all about.
Cheatham's vertical, 41.5 inches, and we saw it there.
You can't measure what Z Cheatham brings. I mean, you can put all these stats and analytics together, but when people ask you how high you can jump, your answer is, when you're really good, how high do I need to jump? And that is Z Cheatham, a champion.
Terry Francona here. Former Arizona Wildcat, was the Golden Spikes winner back in 1980. Goes to all the home games. We see him all the time, and I'm making the trip here.
I bet he stopped at the Ostrich Farm.
I'm sure he did. 7-0 run right now by ASU over the last 90 seconds. Just outside 3 minutes to go. ASU trying to give Bobby Hurley his first win against Arizona. He's 0-6 since taking over the head coaching position here in Tempe.
But these are the kind of games that you build your permanent fan base. This will be devastating if the Sun Devils lose this game. But Chase Jeter playing with the confidence of a champion.
And he was fouled there. He tried to knife through defenders. They get Cheatham for the personal. They're in the double bonus anyway. It's only the second personal on Cheatham. He can't believe the call.
One of the problems for the Sun Devils is that they are relying on gimmick gambling defense. When you're really good, you just got to be able to say, okay, I'm going to guard this guy. If we give up a bucket, we're going to get it back on the other end with superior offense.
How about Arizona? No timeouts remaining. 2:52 on the clock in a close game.
I'm down with that. I like that.
Weeknights on ESPN2. It's a new show that intersects sports and pop culture. Now or never, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, available live on the ESPN app.
How about a new rule? Like Bill Maher, new rule. Each team gets one timeout in the last 2 minutes of the game.
1-point game. ASU in front of U of A.
Great change of pace by Rob Edwards.
Pulls up, and he was fouled shooting a two-pointer. And if that's Dylan Smith, he's gone. And it is the 5th foul on Smith. 11 points on the night, and maybe their best three-point shooter, and he's done for the night.
From Mobile, Alabama, with the first name of Dylan, Sean Miller is only singing the Memphis Blues. Stuck inside of Mobile.
They only have 8 guys that Sean Miller's playing tonight, now 7.
Okay, so he's still got Ira Lee over there. He's got Jake Desjardins, if need be, the junior walk-on from Henderson. Beautiful stuff. This guy, Rob Edwards, we've seen him all year long delivering under pressure.
So you look at the foul trouble. It's not just Smith. Lee's got 4. Barcelo and Dutrieve with 3. But to your point on Edwards, he's one of the best free throw shooters in the country, but he's missed 3 now in this game. He's 6 of 9 at the line, so it remains a 2-point lead for ASU with 2.5 to go.
Okay, the offense. Go to your hot hand. Set this screen. Step back by Ryan Leaf. They're mistaking activity for achievement here. Great defense by Rob Edwards. Get out in that passing lane. Those who aren't willing to risk going too far will never know how far they can go. Okay, you got 12 on the shot clock. Spread the floor. Have off-the-ball action for the Wildcats, somehow freeing up Ryan Luther at the three-point line.
Luther has hit 5 3-pointers in the game.
They come back to this ball string, which is just, oh my God.
But they get the mismatch, Bill, and so Coleman's able to get by the big and get to the rim and tie it at 76.
Incredible turn of events. Sean Miller, masterful job against all odds. Who would have ever thought? Are you old enough to remember last weekend in Los Angeles for these Wildcats? Please.
They're trying to get it down low to White with a shot clock at 7, backing in, powering his way up and in, plus a foul on Jeter.
When was the last time you saw that play called? An isolation one-on-one for Romello White against Chase Jeter. They haven't done this all night long. And if anything, that's an offensive foul.
Well, they get the reach-in on Dutrieve, not on Jeter. Right there, they get Dutrieve for the foul.
If we can see that one more time
so
from the good doctor in the truck.
You think that should have been on White?
Look at Chase Jeter's defensive hand position. It's good at the beginning, but then he puts his hands up too high too early while the move is still being made down low, allowing Romello White to get by him.
Free throw was good. 3-point lead for Arizona State. Coleman gets bumped by Dort. That's the 4th foul on Dort. It will send an 80% free throw shooter to the line for 2 with 1:35 to go.
Now, if you're bigger and stronger than your matched up opponent, as Lou Dort is over Justin Coleman, why are you bumping him? Just stand over the top of him and say, I don't care what you do.
Agree. Coleman 4 of 4 tonight. See if the curtain of distraction has an impact here on Coleman. It doesn't on the first. Keep in mind, since Bob Hurley got the job here at Arizona State, he is 0-6 against Arizona.
So have you ever shot a free throw in a situation like this? You don't see anything. You see the basket. And you love it when the fans hate you from the other team. That's what you live for. If Arizona wins this game, this will be as monumental an upset as I've ever seen.
How about Coleman? He's got 9 assists too.
He's played very well.
Martin fires underneath to Edwards. Missed the layup, but he was fouled.
He was wide open on the strong side. No need to float to the weak there. He just anticipated a defender who was non-existent.
And Jeter gets the personal, his 3rd. Feels like there have been 100 fouls called in this game, right? I mean, every possession, somebody's getting hacked.
When you were not in China of the first year of the Pac-12 China initiative. Washington and Texas. The game took 4 hours to play. Oh my gosh.
So Edwards, who has missed 3 free throws tonight, 90% shooter on the year. He had missed 3 all year prior to this game, and he's missed 3 tonight.
He's a big-time player here. And he was found when he was playing for Cleveland State. He went down to Lexington, Kentucky in a game and lit up the Wildcats. Kentucky playing great ball. Timeout on the court here for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Trying to find a way to fork them all. Here we go.
Yep, Bobby Hurley trying to set his defense. Remember, Arizona does not have any timeouts remaining. 5 terrific games for you. College basketball on Saturday starting at noon Eastern. Mully and the Johnnies taking on Duke.
Good luck, Chris. Keep an eye on Zion. He's a good player.
Louisville, North Carolina to follow. Louisville's playing really well with Chris Mack at the helm. You have Indiana, Michigan State. Tennessee, the top-ranked team in the country, faces A&M. Kentucky, Florida. Kentucky is playing as well as anybody right now.
At the end of the day, you're going to have to beat Duke, North Carolina, Kansas to get to the championship.
Don't forget about Gonzaga. Excellent team. You'll see them next.
Gonzaga's fantastic. What they did to Santa Clara the other night. Oh, my gosh.
And the winner of this game keeps pace, I guess, with Utah for second place because Washington looks like it's ready to run away with this thing.
Isn't Utah playing Oregon tonight? How's that game going?
Well, it's tight. Oregon was up early, and we're told now that they're up by 7 right now.
Oregon is. Yes. Well, Paul White is back playing apparently, and he's a key. You know, you think that injuries don't impact the outcomes.
All right, as for this game, 2 or 3 here for Arizona.
2. Best shot you can get, unless it's Ryan Luther. Get a 3-pointer for Ryan Luther.
Randolph gets that one to go. Tough shot over the outstretched arm of Romello White. It's a 1-point game.
Arizona has gone away from Ryan Luther. By the time they get back to him, his arm is going to be cold.
How about Arizona State has made its last 7 shots from the floor.
Arizona State made 7 in a row, and they've got a 1-point lead at home.
Cheatham making 8 straight baskets.
Phenomenal offense by the Sun Devils. And this crowd, they may never leave. Hopefully.
Again, no timeouts for the Wildcats.
The dream is coming true for Bobby Hurley.
Coleman for 3. Good! He ties the game at 83.
Overtime. We can only hope. How fantastic is this? Bobby Hurley says, let's talk this one over.
But how about Justin Coleman, transfer from Samford, from Birmingham, Alabama, without Dylan Smith, their best 3-point shooter who fouled out, takes a deep 3. They were giving it to him as well. And he took the shot and he made it with DeAndre Ayton, the former Wildcat and current Phoenix Sun, looking on.
If you've been watching the Wildcats of late, you would give him this too, but that's a tough switch there. One of the few times that ball screen has been effective. Justin Coleman, this is the best game I've ever seen him play. We saw him in Maui with the Maui gym. Ineffective as the Wildcats went 1-3, but this is a guy from Birmingham. He's the oldest of 4 children. Mom and Dad, Jermaine and Arnissa. The guy's been playing basketball since he was born. Just loves the game, studies the game, learned how to play on the internet. LeBron James, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, all his heroes growing up.
Bill, what do you expect from Arizona State here?
They're going to play for the last shot here.
Right, but what do you expect in terms of what they might do offensively? I got that part of it.
Okay, so the last shot should be Remy Martin out in front with the ball. Make a decision. And you don't have to shoot it yourself, Remy. Have your idea be get into the lane and draw some defenders. Rob Edwards is your clutch guy. Lou Dort has made some shots, but he's not that consistent threat yet. Get Cheatham on the weak side. They can't even get the ball in bounds. That's elemental, please.
They still have a timeout, but they do get it in. Here's Dort. Remy Martin, remember, hit the shot to beat Kansas. Bobby Hurley trying to get his first win against Arizona. 9 seconds to go. Here's White. Dort, 5 seconds left.
Very poor creativity.
Dort hoisting a 3. It's an air ball. Out of bounds. Is there any time on the clock?
They're going to look here.
They got to figure out who it went off of as well. The initial signal looked like Arizona State ball, and I thought there was a couple of tenths of a second on the clock. Now they can look at both here. They can review who touched it last and then also how much time should be on the clock. And if there's 0.3 seconds or less, you can't have a catch and shoot situation. It can only be a tip-in.
Okay, that's 0.8. 0.8.
And again, first of all, is it off White or Jeter here?
That's off White.
That's off White. Why did they signal Arizona State ball? It was pretty obvious.
You're saying they can change that call?
Yes. So Arizona would have to throw it the length of the floor. Just let's see where it goes out of bounds here. How much time's on the clock?
It's going to be a point. You know,
it's inbounds there,
right 8.
And it's still going. It was touched there. I mean, there's like.
Does the clock stop when it crosses the plane or when it hits the ground?
Right, when it's touched.
When it hits the ground.
Because remember, it can cross the plane. Somebody can save it. So it's not going to stop until it actually touches something.
It's over and we're into overtime.
Because, right, if it's 0.3 or less, all you can do is throw it the length of the floor and tap it. You can't catch and shoot or anything.
So it doesn't matter who it's off. It should be over. We get to overtime, which is what we want. More basketball.
Well, it does matter because if they stuck with the call on the floor and it was Arizona State ball and there's 0.2 of a second left, they could throw it to the rim and dunk it, and that's the game.
But if they can review who touches it, and I'm going to have to take your word off of that, then it's off Romello White.
First of all, this rule has been in place for years. You've been doing games with me for 7 years, and it's been in the NBA for like 15 years.
Really?
About reviewing who touched it last. 10 years, I think, in the NBA, actually.
The ball was off Romello White.
But they're looking at two things, right? The clock and also possession.
But what a nightmare possession. One of the 4 worst possessions in the history of Arizona State basketball. They can't get the ball to the guy they want it to, Remy White. It ends up with the guy they don't want it in his hands, who forces a tough shot and can't even create. And then the ball goes off your own guy.
But how about some credit to Arizona's defense?
I do. They denied possession to Remy Martin. But Arizona State, you have to have a good inbound passer, and your guys have to be ready to move to the ball as soon as that referee hands the ball to the passer. Great effort by Romello White to try to get that. Chase Jeter, he's got his arm all over Romello's bicep.
Arizona, Bill, has been struggling to score, as we know, the last few games. How about the Wildcats with 50 second-half points tonight?
I'm not sure that I've ever been more proud of the job that Sean Miller and these Arizona Wildcats have shown us tonight. They were a beaten team. They had really no spirit in practice this morning. They didn't look like they even wanted to play, but they have come out and been magnificent.
14 three-pointers, a season high for Arizona. Luther with 5 of those.
Especially in the face of this crowd here. This crowd has been booing and yelling at them and hissing them all night long.
But
wow.
It's a type of game, Bill, that even if Arizona ends up losing, you still can build on it with this
Absolutely.
group. You got a long way to go in not just regular season, but then you have Vegas. And Sean's already brought up the Pac-12 tournament saying, hey, the way we're playing right now, we're going to have to go win the whole thing in Las Vegas to get into the NCAA tournament.
It's wide open. We're just getting started here in the Conference of Champions. But Sean, well aware that every game, every moment when you got an elite program like the Wildcats, that the recruits at home are watching. The parents are watching what's going on, and they're going to say, I want our guys to go and play for Sean Miller.
All right, here's the deal, Bill. This is big, okay? Because there's 0.4 of a second left. You can catch and shoot, and it's Arizona's ball.
Okay, now this guy, Ryan Luther, was a high school quarterback in football. Ben Roethlisberger was his guy. Are we going to see a Hail Mary? Are we going to see what Oregon with Dana Altman is so expert at in the Conference of Champions? That last second play. Here we go. He's going to throw a football pass. There it is.
And it's off of Jeter's hand. Cheatham went for the interception and missed. And it didn't look like Jeter was ready for it.
He didn't think Cheatham was going to drop that one. Wow.
We're going to overtime in this rivalry. Back to Chris Cotter.
All I want is more.
Bill, who has the advantage, or does no one have the advantage going into
the home
overtime?
team always has the advantage in overtime, but their collapse in the closing moments there, they made 8 straight shots, and they got nothing out of it, no separation whatsoever. And so, can these Wildcats from Tucson, 2 hours away, who drove up last night, stayed here out by the airport, they're driving home tonight, can these Wildcats continue this excellent play? That's the question. The offense, though, for Arizona State, they've got to get fired up again.
Keep in mind, too, you got Dylan Smith, who's already fouled out, and no depth for Arizona. Molly was listening in on Arizona State's huddle.
Yeah, that's right. Bobby Hurley wasn't drawing up any plays. He didn't go over anything technical. It was all inspirational. He said, we've been here before. This is no big deal. You have to give it all you got. This is why we practice. This is why we work hard. We need to win this thing. We need to win it together.
You got both these teams at 5-3 in conference play, along with USC and UCLA. They will meet again March 9th in Tucson.
Last game of the regular season.
Remy Martin pulls up. Can't get that one. He's got 23 points. Cheatham with the offensive rebound. He's got 16 boards, and then he puts it back in.
The rebounding for Z Cheatham, and now he's out. He's the defender on Justin Coleman. This guy's just an all-guard whoever has the ball.
Luther, who hit 5 threes in regulation, kicks it to Barcelo. Again, no
Plenty
Dylan
of time
Smith.
on the shot clock.
Smith is fouled out, so Barcelo starting overtime.
Brandon Randolph is just standing there. You've got to move.
Coleman, short.
Z Cheatham is everywhere. But that's a Bill Russell, Akeem Olajuwon type of defensive stand. Guard the point guard, come back, force him to miss, grab the rebound, start the fast break. Let's go.
He had 20 rebounds at UCLA, the most by an Arizona State Sun Devil since 1997. And he's got 17 rebounds in this game.
Tease him, Remy.
A foul as Randolph drilled Martin. 2 on Randolph, both teams in the double bonus. Arizona, each team gets a timeout, so Arizona has 1. Arizona State had a holdover, so the Sun Devils have 2 total, and Remy Martin at the line. His career high is 24. He can eclipse that if he makes both free throws.
My guess, and this is just a hunch, that he'd rather win the game. You do just play fantasy sports, don't you? You sound like you're gambling on these games for the fantasy leagues.
4-point lead, ASU.
Look at the hesitation by Alex Barcelo. Great defense, though, by Rob Edwards. That's the great thing about Cheatham's defense. He can guard anybody.
Here's Chase Jeter backing down. And Cheatham picked up the foul. That's his 3rd, and so Jeter will go to the line.
Z Cheatham did a really nice job of keeping Chase Jeter down along that baseline. If Chase Jeter was a little bit higher up the lane when he turned back for that little jump hook there, like Kevin McHale, like Chris Webber, or Tim Duncan, Akeem Olajuwon, he'd have a much better chance of success. Work him up the lane and then come back and deliver. Whoa.
Only a 65% free throw shooter. That's his first miss, though. He had made his other 4 attempts. That's only the 3rd miss for Arizona tonight at the line.
But we're seeing how valuable Chase Jeter is. When he doesn't play because of injury, they get blown out. And here they got a chance for one of the monumental upsets in the history of this great rivalry, which has been dominated by the Wildcats, 152-82, historically.
And they've won 6 in a row. Bobby Hurley has not beaten Arizona since taking over here in Tempe. Nearing 3 minutes to go in overtime. Arizona yet to score. Martin, another deep bomb! 28 points!
I'm with you. I'll take it all. Remy Martin, timeout Sean Miller. Look at this crowd. They have brought Mill Street inside the bank.
Remy Martin, 5 of 6 from 3-point range. A new career high, 28 points to go along with 8 assists and just 1 turnover for the sophomore.
The offense has basically become Remy Martin by himself. Give a lot of credit to the defensive Sean Miller and the Wildcats. The jumper's going down. Bobby Hurley just rolls his eyes. I've seen that look from John Wood. And you two, what's your name again? But Remy Martin, along the baseline, when it looked like he was going to pull it back out, just says, Fleetwood Mac, go your own way. Let it fly.
You never heard of Fleetwood Mac.
Please, I gave you a present from Mick Fleetwood.
I didn't say I had. I said he hadn't heard of him. I have. How about Arizona has not scored here, and again, the lack of depth. Where are you going here if you're Sean Miller, knowing you need a bucket?
Tough to win if you don't score in overtime.
Where are you going? I'll ask again. If you're Sean Miller here, knowing you need a bucket, Brandon Randolph, you think would be that guy,
but there's no logic because they had a hot hand. Ryan Luther got him to the brink of victory.
What about Coleman?
Well, Coleman was setting it up, yeah, but Coleman not a great one-on-one player. You know, Coleman used the ball screen a couple times effectively, but that's not how they got control of the game. They got control by spreading the floor, penetration, and then finding Ryan Luther. But when was the last time he got one of those looks?
And Brandon Randolph, who was very aggressive offensively in the first half, has been shut down for the most part in the second half.
Great defense. Cheatham forced that bad post-entry pass.
There's the switch again with White on Coleman. He gives it up to Barcelo.
Great defense by Rob Edwards.
And now you got White really extending on Coleman. Randolph, Luther, shot clock at 3. Remy Martin.
Yeah, no,
they call a foul. That'll be 3 shots.
He fouled him. He fouled him hard. It came down right on his arm.
It'll be 3 free throws. Only the second foul on Martin. And so Luther, 75% on the year.
As a defender, you have to use everything to your advantage. You got the shot clock. He's not going to shoot that ball. So they're going to call that a shot?
No, what they're saying is it was not a shot, but because they're in the bonus, they still get 2 free throws.
Okay, thank you for making things a little clearer.
that's what I'm here for.
Thanks for telling me that. I've been wondering.
Help the viewers and straighten you out. Both free throws go for Luther.
What's your name again?
It's a 5-point game.
Okay, here we go.
Kareem, 2.5 to go.
Zone defense, you're 1-3-1 here for the Wildcats. Haven't seen much of this.
Dort takes it strong, soars to the rim, and flushes it.
And Chase Jeter, he tried to take a charge on Remy Martin. Took him out of the play, please.
Coleman, wow, somehow got that to Barcelo. Can't bank it in, though. And Cheatham just owning the glass. 19 rebounds.
Z Cheatham is playing like the conference player of the year right now. He's controlling everything. He's one of those players that the closer you look, the better he is. A lot of players look good on radar. This guy looks close. He looks great up close.
Went through major tragedy just before the new year. His younger brother was shot and killed.
Stewart, terrible. Drive-by.
Foul is called here by on the Sun Devils on Remy Martin for reaching in. It's going to be 2 more free throws, but Cheatham has had to battle those emotions along with.
Well, the gun violence in our country is just despicable. 40,000 deaths a year, including Stewart and Cheatham.
Talked about that 20 rebound game against UCLA, 19 tonight. Free throw goes for Barcelo.
So Cheatham, he's the 3rd youngest of 12 children. Stewart was just behind him. December 29th. The funeral was January 12th. Right after the funeral, Z Cheatham, he got on a plane from Phoenix and flew to Stanford and played in the game the same day as the funeral. Man. Can you tell me that's a good day in the life of a young man?
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Bobby Hurley got hit in the face with the ball on the deflection, and he just hops to his feet and yells at the official. Instincts take over. Just go right at the official here. Wow. But he gets mad at the official. He wanted a foul on the reach-in that ended up getting the redirection to the face of the head coach.
I was here for the Oregon game, and Bobby did something in practice. It was so cool. He took a charge, got it up, dove on the loose ball, just in practice. grabbed the ball and then kicked it into the upper deck to get his team fired up. And they played the best game I've ever seen the Sun Devils play.
Martin, step back three. No good.
Look at Cheatham.
Wow, what a rebound.
What an intelligent play to bring it back out.
5 offensive rebounds, 20 boards in all for Cheatham, and that one may have just finished off the Cats. Edwards, no.
Romello White, timeout here, timeout.
And that's the only timeout the Wildcats had.
Oh, they're calling a foul. My gosh.
Yeah, the Arizona's out of timeouts. They get Romello White for the foul is 4, so it'll be free throws on the other end. So with the clock stopped, you're giving the Wildcats an opportunity to get points.
Bobby Hurley beside himself. But it was a great move by Justin Coleman during that, knowing that they don't have any timeouts. Justin Coleman brought all the guys up to the free throw line and gave them all the directions as to the scenario here. The first part of the scenario has to be make 2 free throws.
He's made 5 out of 7 tonight.
Who's behind the curtain? Where are those coyotes when you need them?
Luther checks in. Randolph will go to the bench here.
They got the double curtain of distraction here.
Jeter missed it. Offensive rebound, Lee. Almost intercepted by Martin. Boy, it looked like Lee could have gone back up, no?
Yeah.
Here's Coleman, floater, no good. Batted around, White's got it.
Love the combination up front for Romello White and Z. Cheatham.
Arizona with no field goals in overtime. All their points coming at the line. And a foul here as Coleman went for the steal with his team down 4. So Martin will go to the line for 2.
Excuse me for cutting in. But that's a...
Are you okay?
Medic.
Call Dr. Ice.
Dr. Ice. I need to clear that up. Dr. Ice was the Celtic team doctor. And no matter what injury you had, you could have a bone sticking out through the skin, and Dr. Ice would just say, put some ice on it, you'll be fine. Bill Russell had that, never missed a game.
Martin made the first free throw. DeAndre Ayton's seen enough.
So from here on, you're just called Dr. Ice.
All right. This isn't National Apology Day either, so stop saying you're sorry for interrupting. One more free throw for Martin, who's got 29 points.
But that was a good play by Justin Coleman because Bobby Hurley was trying to talk to Remy Martin here. And then Remy was lost control, lost his thought process and concentration.
He's got 30. Arizona needs a 3.
They need a 6.
They're going to get a foul here on ASU. So again, opportunity for free throws with the clock stopped. That's on Dort. He just fouled out.
Cheatham has got to stop doing that, and all the players do. When they go and goaltend after the whistle, because what if the referee calls that as a shot foul?
Sure, absolutely.
You never know what the refs are going to do. That's why John Wooden always said, look, let's win the game by 30.
And you did.
Well, we did.
All right, so Alex Barcelo, who came in tonight, only 11 attempts on the year. He's 2 for 2 in
this
game.
Is a great shooter.
From Chandler, Corona del Sol High School, about 20 minutes or so from Wells Fargo Arena.
And I love talking to Alex because he's just a basketball aficionado, and he grew up here in the Valley of the Sun. Oh my gosh, when Steve Nash was at the top of the world, and Steve was his and so many others, including me, favorite player. But you're calling for 3, they need 6. Now,
he missed them both. They cheated the rebound.
6.
They got to foul him. They didn't. I'm not sure why Dutrieve.
Throw the ball. Move the ball. Don't wait till they get to you and foul you. Come on, man.
Well, Dutrieve had an opportunity to do that and did not.
Throw the ball, Rob Edwards.
I don't understand what Arizona's doing. Dutrieve had an opportunity to make a foul under the basket, did not. Arizona State is going to get its first win over Arizona in 4 years. Bobby Hurley will get his first win against the Wildcats.
Weren't you in Oregon a couple weeks ago when they had a 9-point lead with 50 seconds to go against UCLA? Please.
Well, this is a 6-point lead with 7 seconds left, so it'd be kind of miraculous, to say the least. How about
you believe in miracles?
Hey, look at Cheatham right now talking to Coach Hurley. That was a great moment there between Cheatham and Hurley. Two intense guys.
Okay.
They're talking about setting up their defense still. Making sure they got everybody.
This is so fun. Why can't every day be just like this? The crowd buzzing all day, coming in here, the grand celebration of life. The Conference of Champions and Remy Martin. Oh!
But still a great night for Martin, 31 points.
I'm sticking with you. I'll have the whole thing.
Three won't go.
Cheatham! His head is at the rim.
Big win for Arizona State in overtime. Bobby Hurley's first win against the Cats and the first win for ASU over its rival in almost 4 years. And Zylan Cheatham with a 21 rebound game last weekend. He had 20 against UCLA.
This was the Conference of Champions on proud display. Gonzaga, BYU coming up next.
For Hall of Famer Bill Walton, Molly McGrath, I'm Dave Pasch. Let's take you there now.
Oh, look.